On this episode, you're joining us for a couple of events we've attended at Chatsworth during the winter months. Our drive takes us around the east side of Manchester and we head across the high peaks, and we sometimes have a lunch stop at the Lamb Inn. It's got a good sized car park and the food here is delicious. We're using Chatsworth Caravan and Motorhome Club site for our stay, which is just within the estate grounds. It's a perfect location if you're visiting the house or any events that are happening there. We'd booked for the garden and gourmet evening. This gave us entrance to the grounds and also a 3-course meal in the Cavendish restaurant. It was £60 a head. The house and gardens were dressed for Christmas, and within the grounds there was an interactive light and sound trail to follow. It is a busy event, so I do advise booking ahead. Within the grounds there's a number of places where you can get food and drink if you've not booked a meal in the restaurant. The Cavendish restaurant is in the stable block area of the house, and it's a nice setting for a meal. The menu, however, left us a little disappointed, and we didn't feel it was worth the money with the limited options available. These tickets are non-refundable, by the way. The grounds we thought were lovely, but the meal left us disappointed. This year we went for bonfire weekend. Now we couldn't get tickets to go within the grounds, they'd sold out by the time we'd looked for the fireworks. The campsite was busy as you'd expect, and the price reflects that, so just be aware, it's not a cheap weekend away this. I do always enjoy this drive over the high peaks into Derbyshire. Now the weekend before we were visiting, the campsite had flooded due to heavy rain, and that was evident as you drive up the lane to where the site is situated. We always find the wardens here to be very helpful, as some of the pictures can be on the short side, and they'll always suggest one that they think would suit your van length.
So this is our secret gate key, which we're about to use to get through into the grounds of Chatsworth House.
When you check in at the campsite, you're given the key, and that leads you through the door in the wall that takes you through into the grounds at Chatsworth. Bakewell isn't that far from where you stop at Chatsworth House, and last year we did cycling, but this year we decided to try and catch the bus. However, the bus had broken down, so we ended up in a taxi. Bakewell is always busy when we visit. A couple of years for the Christmas markets we stayed on the farmers market parking. This year we're out at Chatsworth, so we just came in for the day. Of course, we had to visit the Bakewell pudding shop. You can't give that a miss. We caught a bus back from Bakewell, which cost us about £9 for 4 of us. The taxi had been £11, so that might be something to consider. The afternoon brought sunshine, and in the evening we were heading into Baslow to the Prince of Wales pub for a meal. The food here is very good, and they've recently won an award for their Sunday roast. What we didn't realise was while we were enjoying our meal, it was raining outside, so our walk back to the campsite was a little on the wet side. There's very little lighting on the lane as you walk up from the main road to the campsite, so maybe take a torch and some wellies and a brolly. As I mentioned earlier, the bonfire weekend at the campsite's not a cheap one, and this cost us £92.20 for 2 adults for 2 nights on the site. That's a standard pitch without an awning. We always finish our weekend with breakfast at the Yonder Man Cafe on the way home. It's busy here, so it must be good. Is it time to pack them waders and head to Derbyshire? I do hope we've inspired you to.